Fancy intro music, yeah! Woo!
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel where today, well, we're going on a theme here with disappointment. So your Manic Mining Monday has now been tripled in terms of difficulty, activity, and honestly everything that you don't really want. And you know, this video is coming out I'm making it about 3 hours after the event's launched. And honestly, I'm making it after I've already had a conversation with the dev team. And the reason I waited so long to put out a reaction is to make sure that I wasn't coming off in a spur of the moment frustration type of deal, because I'll be honest, this is extremely frustrating. And not just because I'm a player who is not a fan of mining in the game. Everybody knows this. I do realize this is a very needed part. It's something that you have to do, and that honestly, it's, you know, active versus passive. We can have that discussion. This really feels like a very active type of mining day, which is the worst for me. I will say that they have made improvements for passive mining. Take a look what they did to data space. But when you look at this as a whole, I think that's got to be the key today, is taking a look at how this was as a whole and not overreacting about it and giving some honest feedback. I think most people are frustrated with how it came out, and that's for a reason. So let's talk about what these events are as a whole. Now I'm going to show you on my level 39 account. I've looked on server 51, I've looked on server 32, I've looked on several different ones just to compare based on level and location, making sure they're similar and everything. But here we have Mining Mayhem. Keep in mind that today is Monday, which means we still have our rules of acquisition day, which is mining Latinum. So we get Lat Rush with the Alliance leaderboard, our regular Lat Rush, and then the SLB, which is normal. We have that every single Monday, whether there's an arc or there's not an arc. So that's not really a surprise. But let's hop out of here and go into what we have. So that's one mining event, and that is a guarantee. Like, we have that every Monday. It's known, it's a thing, and it's an active mining event. Why is it active? Because you have to watch your Devore. I've got a Devore sitting here mining in the middle of this video that we're going to have to check, or else it probably gets blown up because it gets OPC really, really quickly. Because the research, which thank you for the research. So let's take a look at Mining Mayhem, which is the second mining event we have to do, and it has 4 parts. So the first part is Interstellar Excavator, which weirdly enough requires you to mine one of 4 resource types, either raw latinum, parsteel, titanium, or dilithium. All of these together are a weird combination, especially when we're looking at the Latinum event, which the Ferengi Latinum event is mining G3 materials and G4 materials. So to have dilithium and everything randomly put in here just doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, the milestone is not terribly too high. I think everybody with the Devore can reach this pretty quickly based on the mining speeds. You can see I'm already at, what, 273,000. I've only been doing it for a little bit, but I still am having to do it actively. I'm having to sit in the game, spend hours in the game, focusing in on this. That's just the part 1 though. Let's go to the next part, Gain Favor, where now this is your chance to work towards an officer that we agree, which I don't know why it's not showing up correctly. Display errors. But anyway, 2 of 10. Who is a phenomenal officer that we all want, that I complimented the game on adding. It's the exact officer I was asking for, and it was given, and I'm happy about it. Except now it's in a leaderboard situation, and at least I guess it has to do with mining, but mine G2 through G4 materials or do bribes with raw latinum. So this is really interesting that we do G2, G3, or G4 for points here, or the bribes. Now, the bribes are very expensive and basically require you to have been somebody who's been mining Latinum very regularly. And we'll cover that in a bit. But here is Risky Business, which is the next part, which is once again another leaderboard. This one paying out tickets and independent credits. I'll be completely honest, very little interest in this. But once again, we're talking about, we had the Latinum Rush, which that's 1. Interstellar Excavator, that's 2. Now, Risky Business, that's a 3rd one, and is doing G3 and G4, which would combine with the Latinum Rush, but at the same time, now you're getting into the PvP because it wants you to mine and steal in the targeted systems. So now you have to do it in specific systems to compete in this event, and this one going for 24 hours.
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay? No more!
The Gain Favor is a 3-day event. Now let's look at risk and reward. And this is for participating in risky business. And it's another leaderboard to get an avatar. Woof. All right, remember, that was all part of mining part 2. Now it's getting to part 3, which is a ticket system for if you complete 3 sets or 2 sets of other mining. Guess what we got for you today? More mining. Yay. Now you got Romulan Miner, Klingon Miner, and Federation Miner simply being ticket events that give you stuff for mining stuff. Oddly enough, though, you have to unlock a ticket to then go back and mine this stuff that you would have originally mined anyway if you're doing the Latinum Rush. Oh, God. So as you can see, we're inundated with several layers of mining today, which not only is it probably the most boring part of the game for most people, even if it is needed and something that we have to do, it's now compounded to where we're having to spend several hours a day to do it. And as I was telling the devs, and I made the comment that yes, some of the because I was very frustrated, understandably I feel, but still I feel like I may have come off a little bit strong. But my main point, and they agreed with the main point, that today of all days is the worst time to try to pull off all this. And my comment was, here's how it should have ran. 1, we should not have run Mining Mayhem on Mining Monday. That's just a bad combination. Sorry, I had to hop out and check this to make sure I don't lose my Latinum node. We should not have tried to do this on Mining Monday. We should have saved this for, say, a Wednesday special to where we did not have mining already. Go ahead and swap this out real quick. Yes, we have to do this live while we're in video, because if we don't, I will lose this spot. And for anybody who's been mining Latinum, once you lose it, it's, unless you want to go to war with somebody, it's a pain in the butt to get one back. So not only have we been having to, mine one thing, we have to mine multiple things in a singular day. And then finally the ticket system. And we've been saying this a lot, and it's not just me. Ultimate DJ literally just went on a 2-day rant session. DJ's never done that. I mean, he literally got called Rev Deuce. That's how bad it's been. It's not by devs or anybody, but by random players who are watching DJ go off because they're not used to seeing DJ do that. I'm very proud of him, but still, it's different from what people are usually used to watching and seeing from the content creators. So now we have this one. And my response to this was, the ticket events need to be exactly how they were 2 months ago when they were originally created. Those milestones could have been critiqued a little bit, but the things that were allowing us to go for Parsteel, dilithium, tritanium, and then the resources combined with it. So the uncommon gas, uncommon crystal, uncommon ore. That's where the ticket system should stay instead of becoming this. Now, why would you spend $100 to go mine and then get a little bit in these tickets? Now, we'll say the rewards aren't necessarily bad, but it would be much better in terms of lucrative if you flip these. If you look here, we're getting Romulan recruit tokens, which a lot of players have already maxed out these officers. And if you haven't, it does have value, but the Romulan credits are where the real value's at. And that's kind of where it should be flipped. If I was getting, say, 6,000 Romulan faction credits, I would be much more excited than if I was getting recruit tokens. So there's not really an incentive for me to sit here and mine 1.27 million ore, or 100,000 ore, because it's not going to be that much. So we've got so much mining being just thrown on top of each other. It just becomes something that we're now doing every day, to the point I've got 3 miners out at the moment, a 4th that I'll throw on something if I can, and I'm gonna be doing this for the next few hours. I mean, I've got a video that already came out today. Please check it out, support the channel. I've got a town hall meeting tonight with one of the other servers, and when I'm live streaming doing that, you're probably going to see me doing this. It's something that they have to consider in the future, because they promised that they would make things less time consuming and less grindy, but that's the exact opposite of what this Mining Monday event does. It's made things more grindy, arguably the most grindy we've ever had. And I will say that the compounding feeling of frustration from the previous days is making this worse. So how the weekend went terribly and how last week ended with the events, that sourness is just continuing to get more and more bitter in our mouth as we taste into the future of these events. And hopefully they will take these critiques and change these things, because this event simply can't happen again, especially on a Mining Monday. If it's on a Wednesday and you change the ticket system to where your Mining Mayhem is the only thing you're doing that day, that's fine, I guess. I mean, I do applaud them for trying to find new ways to add new style events in the game. I don't ever want to say stop doing new stuff and just give me the old stuff I've done forever. We want new, but we want it to be in a way that's balanced and easy for everybody to compete. Remember the promise you made last year, Scopely, that you were going to focus on events that were less time consuming and allowed players to spend more time doing things that they enjoy in the game and less time doing monotonous stuff. This is monotonous stuff. And this is the type of stuff that we're trying to avoid. So here's the critique. Also, I know we've been doing this a lot. Usually we only do this maybe once or twice a week, but as players, you need to drop your feedback down in the comments section below so that I can pass it along and so that they can see what you think about these events and what to do with them. Because at this point, I feel like we're getting an ad nauseum argument here. Like almost every day feels like it's a gripe session. And I don't like that because there's good here. But man, the events have just been really, really bad. Really bad. So let me know what you think. Live long and prosper. Stay safe with those Space Cowboys, and we will catch you on the next one.
Remember, Spock doesn't go on the Enterprise. Live long and prosper. All the best.
An even better outro than the intro for the Empire and glory to your house.